Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Cruise News Live. Welcome to Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony. And I thought I would go live today because there's some developing stories in the cruise news space, and I wanted to talk about them before they got too far away from us. I got four stories for us today. I'm going to go through the four stories, and then we'll have some question and answer time at the end. We're doing it live. We're doing it in front of a studio audience, as it were, virtual studio audience. Big shout out to everybody that's out there already in the chat. So if you got a question or something later, once I get through the cruise news stories, we'll do that. Okay, the first two are, well, actually, I can't remember what the third story is, right? No, third story is a great story. The other three are kind of bummers. Let's pull this graphic up. We've got cruise news story number one, search underway for missing crew member. This one just happened today. An incident occurred at 11:30 a.m. on the Viking Star where a crew member has gone overboard. Viking Cruises has confirmed this. This is a cruise that Viking is doing is an 8-day, 7-night voyage between Athens, Greece, with stops in Turkey and Crete before heading to Italy. Crew or guests noticed that there was an announcement that was made over the ship's PA system, alerting passengers that a crew member had gone overboard. The cruise director later announced that the search area had been expanded and cooperation is going on with the Italian Coast Guard. So this is really a new and developing story. I don't know what the time difference is, but it's probably 10 hours old. We'll have to check tomorrow and see what path the Viking ship has taken and how long they stayed in the area. Unfortunately, many of these overboard stories don't turn out with a positive result. And again, it's doubly, I guess either way, it's super sad if it's a regular passenger, but then you think of it in the context of somebody that makes their living on the sea, going overboard. So, there's going to be, think about that. I mean, there's going to be, if it's a passenger that goes overboard, maybe some people know that person, but you got to think when a crew member goes overboard, a lot of people would know them. So that's got to be challenging, not only as they're searching for somebody they know, but then whatever the aftermath holds. So, that's bummer story number one. Aren't you glad you turned in for the live show? Let's take that down, and we'll go with bummer story number two. This one's not good either. There's a crew member that died in an accident on the P&O cruise ship, the Arvia. This was a cruise ship that was doing a 14-night Caribbean voyage. P&O has confirmed the death, but said that the details remain under investigation. P&O has expressed condolences to the crew member's family and friends. The ship is currently en route to Santa Cruz, and it's scheduled to continue to Barbados on November the 7th. There's not a ton of information out here. They just put out the report. So who knows? Who knows what or where this happened on a cruise ship? But the same thing is applicable from the previous story. This person's going to be known by a good amount of people, I would think, on a cruise ship. And so not only are you dealing with the shock and tragedy of an accident claiming someone's life, but you're also dealing with that happening to somebody that's probably familiar with you. So, Again, both of these first two stories, developing stories, I would anticipate that more information will come out. It's an interesting thing, like to talk about these kind of tragedies. Sometimes I scratch my head and I say, should we even be talking about these things? But then the other time it's like, everybody's curious about everything. For the most part, there's probably some people that are well evolved that loss and tragedy don't, make you go, oh, what happened or what's going on, that kind of thing. But I think for a lot of us, we're curious. What happened? How did this happen on the cruise ship? What was the circumstances of the person going overboard? It's tough. As somebody who comments on cruising, like, should I talk about this? Should I not talk about this? But I don't know. It does seem like something that gets talked about. The third cruise news story is gooder. It's gooder, better, gooder. This one at least has some sort of positive outcome. The Norwegian Epic has rescued 63 migrants from an overcrowded sailboat in the Mediterranean. This happened back on October the 22nd. Cruise ship left Italy, left near Rome, for an 11-night Mediterranean voyage headed towards Santorini. This has a twist at the end, so it'll be interesting to see how people respond to it. They received a call that they needed some sort of assistance. They received the call from the Coast Guard, so they were the closest vessel that could respond to an emergency. And so they went and they rescued the sailboat, about 30-foot sailboat holding these 63 people. The passengers on board reported that the tenders were deployed to perform this rescue from the Norwegian Epic, and everybody was brought on board and everybody was checked out and taken care of. Now, where it gets wild is when we hear about these stories a lot of times in the Caribbean, the Coast Guard will be engaged and the Coast Guard will come and hook up with the cruise ship, and then they will take the people off of the cruise ship after they've been taken care of. A lot of times they'll be returned to wherever they left from. Sometimes they'll be returned somewhere else. And that's not what happened in this case. The Coast Guard said, hey, we're not going to come. We need you guys to reroute your crews and take them to Kalamata. Kalamata, is that how you say it? We need you to go to Kalamata instead of Santorini and hand the migrants off to the authorities. They did that, and the crews continued on. But because they did that, they skipped their port of call in Santorini. So, you know, from the highest levels of decency, you say, look, my vacation got turned sideways, but we saved 63 people's lives. But then there's going to be some selfish part of you, just some sort of fraction of a selfishness inside of you that's probably going to go, but we don't get to go to Santorini. What the heck? I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe I'll put a poll up or something like that. Would you be mad if you had to skip Santorini because of this? Because of it, like I realized I didn't change the graphics. I don't use the graphics like this too much. Let me change it. I'm going to do the whole story again. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do the whole story again. But where are you at on it? Would you be mad if your cruise got disrupted because you're saving people's lives? Again, at the highest level of decency, you got to say no. But I think if most of us are being true to ourselves, there's got to be some part that goes, nah, what the heck? What the heck? Especially, and maybe it just works differently. Like, why did the Coast Guard not take those folks? I don't know. I'm going to leave the graphic up for another minute. Maybe somebody's searching through the video. You got to go back a little bit on a replay. Okay, let me pull that graphic down. Shaboom. We'll put this one up. There we go. 10 cruises change itinerary, really, to avoid the storm. I guess the closest thing to home here in Florida is Hurricane Melissa churning down in the Caribbean. And this thing was a Category 4 storm a couple days ago. Now it's a Category 5, and they are hunkered down in Jamaica, waiting to take a direct hit from Melissa. Everything I'm reading says this is going to be one of the worst impacts that Jamaica's ever had. They're expecting record flooding. This storm has already claimed some lives. I think it's maybe 4 lives, 5 lives through the Caribbean. And Jamaica is just bracing. The human factor of these hurricane stories are the most important factor, but we are here talking about cruising and the impacts to cruising. So we don't do it with an insensitivity to the real disaster that's going to happen and the real lives impacted, but we do it as people that talk about cruising. So in that vein, and I tell you what, I guess it's a fair discussion on the Santorini thing, but anybody that gets mad because their itinerary got altered in the face of a Cat 5 hurricane, you got to calm down. You're getting safety over your beach day. So 10 cruise ships impacted by Hurricane Melissa. I cannot get music out of my head. What is that song? Sweet Melissa? Who is that? Is that the Almonds? It's probably Ludacris, but I'm the juxtaposition between, in my mind's eye, the reality of a deadly hurricane bearing down on Jamaica and that sweet 70s song, Sweet Melissa, is almost cracking my brain. Let's just move on to the cruise ships. 10 cruise ships impacted by Hurricane Melissa. First, we talked about 5 of them in the show yesterday. Icon of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas. Those are the Royal Caribbean ships. The Disney cruise ships, the Disney Treasure and the Disney Wish, will be changing their itineraries. Celebrity Beyond changing an itinerary. A few Carnival ships, Carnival Liberty, Carnival Celebration, Carnival Dream. We have the Margaritaville at Sea Islander changing its itinerary. and MSC World America. I said 10 ships. It's actually 11. MSC World America, and then finally the NCL Joy. Um, this is not a abnormal story at all. If you've cruised any, you know that during storm season, this is almost like the snowbird report for school kids in places where it snows. Every once in a while, when the storms come to cruising, there's going to be a list of ships that are impacted, and that's the list. We got our friend in the chat, Scott, who is on the Carnival Mardi Gras doing the transatlantic. They were possibly going to miss their stop in Celebration Key, but it sounds like they're going to do okay. These are some heavy stories, and so for all of you, positive thinkers, spiritual people, this would be a good day to shoot up a prayer or have a positive thought for our fellow brothers and sisters at sea, and especially for all those folks on land in Jamaica. We'll be paying attention to see what happens there. That's everything going on in cruising. Thank you for popping in for the live presentation of the news. And if you'd like, I'm going to do a question and answer session. I'll do my best to read out the questions. So if you're watching on the replay, hopefully it'll make sense to you. And if you could, everybody who's watched the show, please hit the like button. And if you like this cruise news live or recorded, please consider subscribing for more. It's Tony for La Lita Loca. And now we will get into the Q&A. I'm going to take this graphic off the screen. Goodbye. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe. Boop. Okay. Wow. What's up, everybody? 11-minute cruise news. Do you guys like it live? I'm trying to, I'm trying to get yesterday's video. I think because it was on a Sunday and the subject matter, it's not getting a lot of views. So if you haven't watched the Sunday video, maybe you don't know it's out there because I took off Friday and Saturday. Make sure you go check out that video. That's the reason I did the show live today, because the live video will not impact the pushing out of the recorded video yesterday. So if you're here and you haven't seen yesterday's video after we're done, or if you get tired of listening to questions and answers, go check that video out. So there you go. There you go. All right. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. You have any questions for me about cruising or life? Anything like that? Question. CD Mouse, has the Lego Death Star arrived? What? What are you talking about? I think I was on a cruise when it arrived, actually. That's how I had to get it that first week to get the gift with purchase. Lego fans, are we excited about the Goonie stuff? I guess there's going to be a... I guess I'm going to go to the Lego store this week. I haven't been to a release day in a while. Walker Bunch 06 says, what is the cruising season for the Med trying to avoid the peak season? To be honest, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to be fair and say that. I know that it happens during the summer. My buddy that I have a gambling buddy that I ran into on this Princess cruise, Huck Huna. Huck, if you're out there, it was so good to see you. But he sent me a couple cruises trying to entice me to go to the Med next year, and he sent me dates in August. So I think it happens in August. I think I don't know what the primo time is, but I think it's going to be hot in August. Any of you veteran Med sailors out there, what's a good time to sail in the Mediterranean? Wind Walker, Tony, you're losing weight. That's absolutely true. And I haven't made a health update in a while, but I'm going to tomorrow. So if you care, if you want to see what's going on with my health, some people do, it's on the Tony Barnett YouTube channel. I could probably leave a link for that. But on the Tony Barnett channel, I throw some vlogs up and some health updates. I've been putting my record stuff up there, but I might have to make a record-only channel. I don't know. I think it's just Tony Barn. I can't remember what the handle is. What's the handle? Let's hold on. Hold, please. I'll do it later. But yeah, just look for Tony Barnett. You should see me. Question, what are your thoughts? This is from Shiny Penny 654. What are your thoughts on Virgin Voyage's new price tiers, most like air rates or a pain? I haven't looked at it, to be fair. I did love the fact that their gratuities were included, and I don't think I understand why they are not included anymore. Some people have said, well, there's that law in California that says everything has to be diced out and sliced out so that you know exactly what you're paying for. I don't know that that's it, because they didn't have gratuities. So if you don't have gratuities, then you wouldn't have to slice them out. So basically I think they're probably doing that so that they can present a lower price point. I think a lot of people maybe pass on Virgin because at their base price point, it's more expensive than some of the other mass market cruise lines. But I don't think I don't know. I wish they wouldn't have done that with gratuities, but I don't know how it's going to shake out overall. There's another aspect that says I don't want everything included. I was saying, yay, Virgin, they give you internet and they give you gratuities and they give you soda and all this stuff, and it costs a little more, but yay. And some people will be like, "Well, I don't want all that. I want to a la carte that thing. I don't want soda. I'd rather save, $20 a day. I don't want internet. I'd rather save $100 a day." So there could be that aspect of people are more keen to an a la carte offering on a cruise ship, like all the other cruise lines do. But I did like the all inclusive vibe of Virgin Voyages. I know that's what. So T-Boat on the go. Stay away from the Med in August. That when I saw those cruises, that was the first thing I thought. I'm like, is that really when I want to go to the Med? Because it's gonna be hot. There's gonna be a lot of people there. So, the thumbs up. I don't know if you have to close the chat to see the thumbs up. I'm not sure. So James says, I'm happy with the modular price plan they have in the lower price. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's probably, again, if for me, I'm always excited, and I'm definitely different than everybody else. I'm always excited when that internet's included because that can be a big expense. I know I've probably there's been times where I've spent $400 for a week for internet, which sounds insane. That's I think my internet in this office, which is a business class internet, it's only $78 a month. So yeah, when I'm somewhere and I'm spending $400 for internet, anytime it's included, I'm like, thank you. I like that better. Blue Sun says it's hot in the Med. The summer is really hot. Yeah, I just remember our friend Don Terrace from Don's Family Vacation talking about, I think he went midsummer and he was like, I'm on a bus and there's no air conditioning and this sucks. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I just remember that every time I think about it. Mike says, with the conflict going on in Venezuela, do you think they might suspend sailing to Aruba and Curacao? I don't know. I don't know if that's impactful or not. Certainly, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know is the fairest thing to say, but we have seen it. There's no sailing to St. Petersburg, Russia anymore, and certainly there's not a lot of sailing going on. I think in Israel still, and then where's it, the Red Sea, or where's the other thing that's closed down? It would not be abnormal for geopolitical events to have an impact on cruising. I am not sure what the relationship and the geographical closeness of Venezuela to Curacao and Aruba. Those are big cruise ports. I'd be surprised, but who knows? Designing guy, do any cruise lines stop in Cuba? Haven't been in years. Amazing place to visit. There was a window where you could go to Cuba from the U.S. Maybe there's some other cruise lines. I don't know. I know, if you're in Canada, you can just fly down to Cuba. I think the embargo is only against Americans, and I think it's a self-imposed embargo. But I don't know if any other I don't think cruise ships out of the U.S. go there or cruise ships carrying U.S. passengers. But yeah, we were able to go in 2018, and it was really good. Jenny has some family roots in Cuba, and so it was really emotional to be there. It was good. We have some great videos. So if you wonder and the wild thing is, before we went to Cuba, I watched a documentary called Cuba Libre, which talks about, which is the name of a drink, which I always thought was a dumb. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I think it translates to liberation. But it talked about the story of Cuba, and what was wild is in the documentary there was a shot of the port where ships came to, and there were these cargo ships there, and it was wild. And then when we rolled up there in 2018, it looked exactly the same as it did in the late 1950s. So Cuba is really a place where time has stood still. A lot of oppressive situations for the people that live there. It's weird because we didn't know what to expect. We were fairly young and naive travelers, not age-wise young, but just we were in our late 40s. But yeah, you go there and you're like, oh, we're going to see a place and we're tourists or whatever. And then you get there and these, everybody's living, people are squatting in darkened doorways, and you're going to a flea market and government officials are coming over to take the money. And It was oppressive. It was oppressive, and you really started to get a sense of how challenging it has to be for Cubans. But yeah, there you go. Rev C at C, question Tony, Jenny B, my wife and I are sailing from Tampa in December on the NCL Dawn. Any advice on the Tampa port and places to stay? We're not good with the places to stay because we only live 45 minutes from that port. And our biggest advice, well, I don't know, you're flying in? If you're flying in, well, no, you said places to park. We love the valet service. I'm not sure what it costs now, but you drop your car off right where you give them your luggage, and then they bring it right back to you. Like you just walk out of the terminal and your car's there, and then you get in it and you go home in 45 minutes. It's amazing. It's amazing. But places to stay. Jenny B, didn't you get some recommendations from somebody? Maybe Jenny can pop some recommendations there. What is your Todd says? What is your take on P&O Cruise Line? Great price on a world tour. I'm unfamiliar with P&O. It's hard a little bit for Americans to book P&O, so you're probably going to have to swing and find some UK content creators. I'm pretty sure Emma Cruises has some P&O content. Pretty sure Tips for Travelers, Gary Benbridge probably has UK P&O content, probably Ben and David. I would check those three to see what they've got from P&O. But yeah, I don't know much about it. Let's see. Question. Noel Dad 77. What's your favorite all-time band? It's a tough one, man. Like I would say I probably listened to the rock band Kiss more than anything else. But I started young. You know, I got my first Kiss record when I was like in 1976. I think when I was 5 years old. But I went through all these different epochs of musical, exploration. I was telling somebody the other day. Yeah, I was telling the guy Tyler at Granddaddy Records, like, I love all these different rock bands. I've been listening to Iron Maiden a lot lately, but I love also a lot of 90s alternative. But for singer songwriters, I have these buckets, and for the longest time, I would just listen to Bob Dylan. Like I probably discovered Dylan somewhere in my 30s. I discovered Leonard Cohen in my 40s, and then here I am in my 50s, and I just discovered Warren Zevon. So those are kind of my buckets for singer songwriters. Love the Beatles, love the Doors, that kind of stuff. It's hard to lock it down. Before the show came on, I saw a video that the new Wolfgang Van Halen album came out. Excuse me. Wolfgang has taken the name of the original name for Van Halen, Mammoth. And I think it's the third Mammoth album, and he records all of the instruments and all of the singing, and I think he actually edits and mixes the music. And so I was just listening to that. That was pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. What's everybody's favorite band? I guess I'm not a huge Zeppelin. My brother's a Zeppelin fan. Intuitive Domain. Do cruise ship casinos have regulations? Yes. I can't remember what the governing body is, but now they are associated with what's going on in Vegas. I could probably do a Google search for that, but they certainly are regulated. Cali Dude said, who you got winning the World Series? Who's in the World Series? Somebody let me know, and I'll hazard a guess. No, DJ Babalu says Scarlet Lady is putting the pedal to the metal, full speed ahead. The Eagles are good. Depeche Mode. Got my own personal Jesus. I do like Depeche Mode. Werewolves in London is good. I think I've been, I started, so that's a Zevon song, and I knew that song. That's the only Zevon song I knew because of The Color of Money, which is one of my favorite all-time movies. Yeah, I saw a post on social media or something, like what's a movie you can watch over and over. I do love the gambling movies. I can watch Rounders every time it's on TV. I can watch The Color of Money. I can watch The Hustler is depressing though. You need a few days off after you watch The Hustler, which is the prequel to it was made first, but it was it's where The Color of Money came from essentially. But Werewolves of London is there. So I bought the first album I bought after Jenny got me a turntable from Zevon was Excitable Boy. And I don't think there's any skips on that record for me. I really love that record. But then I dropped down and I went to the first record that he put out, which is self-titled, just Warren Zevon. And wow, there's some songs that really moved me on that album too. And he's got a full catalog. And I kind of knew him because David Letterman was a fan, and also because he didn't do very well about taking care of his health. And all of a sudden, he found out he had stage 4 cancer. I saw the Letterman when that happened, and you could tell Dave was shooken up, and I guess they were good friends. But yeah, it was good. I love that first Zevon album. New Expression, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Was relocated on NCL Encore recently because stateroom was infested with bed bugs. What compensation do you think would have been reasonable? NCL felt that $100 and a future cruise credit of 10% was fair. I don't know. Like, I don't know. If bed bugs is a bad thing, and hopefully you got it out of your laundry, I don't know what I would have asked for. I would have pushed probably as hard as I could. Especially if you could say it's not my fault I got bed bugs. Like I didn't pick it up here, there, on the airport, anything like that. Chat, what do you think? What do you think? 100% refund is good for bed bugs, or do you think that was fair that NCL laid it out there? Leave a comment. But thank you so much for the super chat. He's super chatty, yow. Thanks, Mr. Keith says, what are you going to be for Halloween? Oh yeah, love your channel. This is it. I might change shirts, right? I might go in disguise. I might wear like a white shirt. I'll be incognito. I'll be Tony Undercover. What you guys don't know is I am constantly in my mind playing Spy versus Spy, the old Mad magazine, and I'm always the black spy. Maybe the next time I'll be the white spy. I don't know. Anybody dressing up for Halloween? Doug says the Toronto Blue Jays. Are you saying the Blue Jays are in the World Series? Who are they playing? Toby's Field. Any new shirts coming soon? Yeah, I think so. So I made those. So I started using Amazon for distribution, which is amazing. And I made those listings public, and then immediately a Chinese company copied my shirt designs, which ain't good for business. And so I have filed. I've been working with a lawyer to get some protection for my designs. And so before I release anything else, I'm trying to get that in place. But I do have some great ideas for some other designs, but I don't want them to immediately be copied. So if you ever buy a Monsters of the Lido t-shirt, only use a link that I give you. Don't search on Amazon. All right, so we got the LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know who's favored there. Didn't the Dodgers have that guy that hits all the home runs? Ohtani? Okay, I'm voting Dodgers. Sorry, any of my Canadian friends. I got a tickle in my throat. Lee Blewett. If you want to come to the Mediterranean, I feel that October is the best time as schools have returned. Okay, I'll look for that. Cruising as Life. Wow, thank you for the very kind super chat. Much appreciated. Cruising as Life. I feel like I've seen your guys' stuff. I don't know if it's back for you guys, but I love the fact that you can click somebody's name and go to the channel. Let's see if it'll open in a new tab. Look at that. Cruising for Life. They got some videos out there about day in the life of a married couple. Date night. Where did you go? Oh, it looks like you're eating Chinese food. Holy moly. Jenny B, I want some. I'm just looking at the thing that plays when you roll over their video, and it looks like General Tso's and some fried rice. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I don't know what's for dinner, but it's getting close to dinner time. Thank you for the super chat, Cruising for Life. Everybody go check those guys out. Santo Sanabria 3605. Thank you for the super sticker. I got all kinds of stuff coming color-wise here. What else is going on? My friend Tommy Casabona and I dropped a new episode of Cruise Talk Weekly. That's our podcast. We're 8 episodes into the podcast, and it's doing really well. So you can find that on anywhere that you get audio podcast. But we also have a video version of it over on the Cruise Talk Network, which is another one of our La Lita Loca channels. I think there's change coming to some of the channel structure. I think I got to make some changes. But if you want to see the video of that, you can see Tommy and I kind of talk to each other. Our big topic for today was, what were we talking about? We were talking about obnoxious chair hogs and bad parents. It's a pretty good conversation. If you like the longer form, check that out. And then I got a fascinating thing happening tomorrow. I'm reconnecting with a guy that I knew when I was 20 years old. We worked together at the same restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Old Hickory Steakhouse in the Opryland Hotel. And now he's a travel host. He takes people to Italy. He owns an Italian market in Nashville. And tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing him for the La Lita Loca Cruise podcast to talk about his experiences as a travel host. So I'm excited about that. Whoa, cruising life as is with another super chat. Thank you so much. Very kind. Very kind. Man, I guess it was the call out of the General So's. Am I right? Am I right? No, Dad's out of here. Have a good one, man. How come I can't say your name? T-Bode on the go. Did you ever say if you are not doing the festival? We do not have the festival booked. The transatlantic. I don't even know. Is that next year? I don't know. For sure. So my next cruise, I go over on the 5th to Fort Lauderdale, and then the naming ceremony for the Star Princess is on the 6th with the godparents, the McConaughey's. All right. And then I think it's a little 3-day cruise. I don't know if the cruise starts on the 6th or if it's 7, 8, 9. It could be 7, 8, 9. It could be 6, 7, 8. I don't know. But that's next week. And then on the 16th, I'm on the Carnival Celebration with Don Terras. Then we're back in December on the Star with the family. And then Comic-Con with the family in January. And I think we got a couple of those Chasing the Diamond in January. And then we got a couple of the Chasing the Diamond in February. So we got some cruising coming up. Let's see. Silent Listen 3073. Just to let you know, I'll be copying your dance moves on the Lido on the Dream next week. The Lido, whoa, do it. I need some. Is anybody a good dancer out there? Can you recommend some dance to learn? I mean, I only got a few. I got that. And then, I could pop and lock a little bit from back in the day. But I'm just making it up as I go. But I tell you what, it's very freeing. And, I put it at the end of the show in case anybody hates it. But for those that love it, let's love it together. That's what I say. Kumbaya, everybody. Kumbaya. Oh, no, I can see my screen because where I pulled up that webpage, now I don't like seeing me dance. That's a weird thing. Benny and Judy in the house. Benny's in the house. Shout out, Benny. Benny's in the house. I'm going to tell this. I'm going to say this out loud, and my friend Benny is going to judge my local record store. I went to my local record store, Benny, looking for Tower Power, and they didn't have it. So I was denied. But what I did find in the funk section, which I don't know why it was in the funk section, I found the best of Donny Hathaway, which one of my favorite all-time songs is A Song for You, sung by Donny Hathaway. So I did find that album, which was nice. And I got the soundtrack to The Commitments. If you know, you know. That's I've been trying to find Try a Little Tenderness in some form. I haven't been able to find an Otis Redding record. I haven't been able to find the soundtrack to Pretty in Pink. But I did find The Commitments, which has on there. So Cruising Life As. Thank you for the super chat. Super chatty. Ow. Pamela says, have we cruised on the Dawn? Did you like it? Was it good? And was the pizza good? Jenny B and I cruised on the Dawn, and we liked it, and I don't remember what the pizza was like. I never really think pizza when I think Norwegian Cruise Line. Where do they have pizza? Usually on the buffet, right? When I'm on NCL, my late night eats or my casual eats are usually the local or Oceans, depending what it's called. But Dawn's a really nice ship. Small. You can get around easy. Got a nice little coffee bar in the middle of the atrium. I remember the shows being good. And look, I put on these love blinders whenever I'm with Jenny B. Everything seems rosy when I'm with my wife. So I just remember us having a super chill Tampa sailing on the Dawn, going out under the Skyway, watching that together, and just full on hanging. So yeah, I've got good memories of the Dawn. Question from Keizo Cruiser. Any good hotel recommendations for the Port of Boston? I've never stayed at a hotel in Boston, My brother-in-law just stayed someplace nice. Jenny B, where did Steven stay? Anybody know a good port hotel in Boston? Leave a comment below. Leave a comment below. RP Johnson, did you look at booking the Carnival Festival? No, I don't have any. You know, I've been on all of the XL class cruise ships. I've been on Mardi Gras, on the Jubilee, and the Celebration. I'm going back on the Celebration. I assume once it comes to, is it coming to Florida? Where's the festival going? If that thing comes to Florida, I'm pretty sure I'll be on it, but I don't know that I'll be on it, like on the first one or anything. She's a pizza freak. Pizza freak. Pamela's a pizza freak. Yow. I think there's pizza in the buffet. There you go, Georgie. The Blue Jays versus the Dodgers. I'm taking the Dodgers and Ohtani. Is anybody winning it yet? I don't know. Down, down, yow. I don't know what this tickle. I hope I'm not getting. I don't think I'm getting sick. I've been home too long. Yeah, that singer for The Commitments. What a voice. Crazy. Yeah, like I said, 16. That was a good movie. Like, I feel like that should be a double feature with Eddie and the Cruisers. Dark side coming to how I feel. I don't think he sang those songs, though. The Eddie and the Cruiser guy. Anybody going to see the Springsteen movie? I've heard mixed reactions on it. I don't think I'm big enough of a Springsteen fan to see it. Like, when it comes to streaming. Series is all tied up at 1-1. The series going to Canada now. No, where are they playing? They played LA yet? Well, I did have a great memory. One time I went to. Did I just have one night in LA or something? Oh no, I was at a YouTube conference, and then I hooked up with our friend LA Ronald, and we went and tried different food places. And so we went to the place where the French dip was invented, called Philippe's the Original. And I guess the Dodgers were in the World Series or the playoffs, but there was a bunch of old timers. This restaurant was old time. It seemed like the people that were working there had been working there for a long time. But these old timers were just sitting there watching the baseball game while we were trying Philippe's the Original. It was good. Jenny, we could do Thai food too. I know you're sitting there thinking, should we get Chinese? Or maybe that's my obsession. But yeah, I know we like the Thai food. Cruising Quackers. Thank you so kindly for the super chat. Hey, Tony, Kelly from the Cruising Quackers here. Love your channel. Quick question. Do you ever hide or hunt for cruise ducks when you sail? No, I hate them, honestly. I mean, if it's your thing, I love you because it's your thing. But no, it's not my thing at all. I mean, like, if I see one, I'll point one out, especially like to a kid. I'll be like, hey, man, look at that. You know, and they're like, ah. But I don't like the, you know. If I'm going to collect useless crap, I mean, I have my own lane of useless stuff that I like to collect. And so I can't add anything else to it. I cannot. Hello, Mercy. Hey, Mercy. Good to see you, baby. No, that's disrespectful. I don't mean to call you baby. I know Mercy and her husband. But I just thought it went well with that phrase. Glad to see you here. Sorry you didn't get a notification. Series is going to LA for the next 3 games. Dodgers seem to like they're going to have a good home field advantage. I'm sure they play outside in LA, but you got the Dome in Toronto still, I think. Oh, Jenny, order the Thai. Order the Thai. You know what I like. Carl, Kentucky. Hi from Carl and Denise. One cruise in my life. Wondered, that's a great ship to have tried. Do you think food prices will cause drastic yeah, everything's going up right now. This was a conversation I was having with my friend Tommy. I feel like we're in the middle of a great cruise reset. If you look at the amount of changes that are going on, you got a couple things that are going on that's going to allow the cruise industry to make changes that people will just have to suck it up and live with. Because we've had a series of changes that you're like, why? This is not the way I like my cruising to be. But you have this crazy influx of new cruisers, right? Demand just boop, 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 new cruisers, boop, 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 boop. And then you also have prices increasing. But what the cruise lines realize they can do is they can pull back some of the things that were, included and still have better value than most land vacations. So I think we're in the bad position as the consumers because the cruise lines can make these changes and be like, it's still the best value. But if you want to be mad and don't take a cruise, I guess don't take a cruise because we got a bunch more people that are going to take a cruise. I believe that's true. there will be a time where that won't be true, and then the cruise lines will have to like be like, "Oh, we're sorry, we took too much. Let's give some stuff back, get the people back in." But right now, they're in a position where, yeah, they're filling the seats, they're filling the cabins, so they can make changes that aren't that exciting, and I think prices will continue to go up. I guess that's all. Mustang Sally, that's a great song. Ride, Sally, ride. Shout out Ludacris. Andrew Strong, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I picked up the album yesterday. Abide, like, I wonder if that guy's still making music. Have to check it. Oh, is Getty Lee gonna? Is Getty been watching the games? I'm so excited that Rush is going to tour again. I think it's very expensive, and of course they're playing with a drummer, Anika something. But it's always sad. Like, Rush was such a triumvirate of those three guys, and then when Neil Peart died, they just went like, I guess we're not going to play anymore. And so I think it's been, I don't know if it's 10 years yet, but it's been a lot of time. So, it just seems weird to me that you don't have Getty out there performing, such a talent. But yeah, I think the tickets are going to be expensive. And then Iron Maiden's touring also, but my brother said they're just touring the new album. So I'd be weird to go see Iron Maiden and not hear Aces High or something like that. Aces High. Okay. I've been listening to too much Maiden lately. Won't you run? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people like the Ducks. Look, I'm not trying to poo-poo anybody's Duck parade. And unfortunately, I guess most cruise lines don't restrict them. I know that Royal has said, please don't put them where our live plants are, but let's make a poll. You guys can prove how wrong I am. I bet you most people love the Ducks. I'm just not one of them. Start a poll. Do you like the cruise duck thing that's happening? I'm making this question way too long. Happening in cruising right now. Do you? Is that long enough? Okay. Yes, no. Should I add a third option? I don't care. I don't care. Stop singing. I don't care. There you go. There's a poll you can participate in. Ooh, Canadian Spring, Life Regret, not seeing Rush live. Yeah. Annika Niles, that's it. Man, she's a crazy good drummer. I watched, when they announced her, I went looking. I know she played with Jeff Beck. And then, of course, Jeff Beck always finds these amazing, of course, he's passed away, but Jeff Beck found all these amazing talents like Tal Wakenfield, the bassist, another amazing player. Thoughts on Independence of the Seas? I feel like I've been on a similar ship. I don't think I've been on Independence, but I haven't met a royal ship that I haven't liked yet. RB Samar, I've not been on a ship in 6 years. Looking forward to some ducks. Yeah, it definitely is a. Gosh, were there ducks when we started in 2017? I don't think so, but it definitely pre-COVID. Oh, there you go. Gerard says when his wife goes duck hunting, he goes to sleep. Sleeper time. At least she's not like, hey man, you got to help me find these ducks. You know what you could do? You just should get a bunch of ducks and like bring them incognito, and then just like go, hey, what's that over there? And when she looks away, just put a duck right where she's gonna walk. You'd be a hero. She'd be like, I found 50 ducks today, and they were always right in front of me. Gerard, I love you. Emma Cruz is hey from London. I was in London with you once. That's true. We were in London on a double-decker bus. Double-decker bus. What are you doing in London? Anything fun? Wow. The Rush tickets for Tampa, $300 each for OK seats. That is pretty close to the house. I don't know. I don't know enough of Rush's catalog to. I mean, I'd be there the whole show going, play Tom Sawyer. When are you gonna play Tom Sawyer? And that other song I know, Limelight or something. When are you gonna do that? Where's Neil? Living in the limelight, baby. Is that the song? What's the Rush album you should listen to? Would they have Moving Windows? Is that a Rush album? 5150 is a Van Halen album, but what is they got like 2112 or something like that? I don't know. Ah, Emma's working on the cruise maps at HQ. The cruise maps. Yeah, I use the Cruise Globe a lot to what I like for like when I'm making the videos is Cruise Globe has almost real time data, or maybe it is real time data. I don't want to speak out of school, but you can see almost whatever path a cruise ship has taken, and the Cruise Globe's been very fun for that. Abide says, "What games or machines do you like to play the most in the casino?" I play table games. On the last cruise, I played exclusively blackjack. I like the blackjack. I used to be a craps player. I have played the slots, but I hate them. I'm very opinionated today. I don't hate them, but it's not my. I don't feel like you're doing anything. You're just like, come on, get lucky. Come on, get lucky. Come on, get. And then you're like, wow, I just lost $500. I did not get. You either feel insanely lucky playing the slots, or you feel like a complete unlucky person. And I got enough issues without a slot machine making me feel unlucky. Ty is closed. Come on, Jenny. What are we gonna do? Why are they closed on Monday? The record stores are closed on Monday. What's wrong with this town? What's wrong with this town? All I'm saying, so we're slowly expanding. We live in I would say, we're almost considered a suburb of Tampa. We're 45 minutes north. And this town used to be known primarily for a roadside attraction where they had a mermaid show. But we're starting to see some expansion of the burbs out into this area. So we're starting to get new stuff. Near my studio, they built a Wendy's in about 14 minutes. Like it was a parking lot. It was an empty lot. It was nothing. Then it was a parking lot. Then it was a Wendy's in 14 minutes. At the same time, they started building a Panda Express. And that was, I say, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. It's still not open. What the heck? I drove by it today going, when's this Panda Express going to open? All right, I'm done with my construction rant. Just Joanne, can you enter cruises that you booked but not cruised, or do you not have to? I don't know. Emma, can you answer just Joanne's question? I don't want to say the wrong thing. Natalie said that Moving Pictures is the best album for Rush. I do know Tom Sawyer. No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government. Something, and then the word discontents there, I think. The changes. Oh. Sushi sounds good. I don't know. I don't like to have sushi delivered though. It seems like a fishy proposition. Fish. I'm here all week. Actually, I'm not here all week. I think I'm gonna go see the giant Halla Hooligan. David said. David, did you guys watch the Halifax video? David had such a good time with us and the crew in Halifax, the Haligonian David, that he decided to come to Florida. So I I don't think it was an independent decision. I think he came because we came to visit. But hopefully, get to see David. Emma with the top secret update. Get to see future cruises from next week. Donald says we should have pho. There's not enough letters in that food for me to eat it. I have a strict, it has to have 4 or more letters in a food before I'll eat it. I won't eat an egg, only 3 letters. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pho. Is it raining, Jenny? I hear rain, but I'm way inside a building. Maybe it's the air. Emma says you have so many cool things in your background. What is your favorite? Well, that's a great question. I don't know. Everything has like a little memory, you know? Got this in Curacao. My friend Ian sent this to me from Australia. My friend John sent me this to make fun of me not liking towel animals. Some officer on a Carnival cruise ship gave me this. I got this when I was in Sydney. It says Sydney. I picked up this in Alaska. What's my favorite? Hold on. I'll get what my favorite background item is. I got this. A friend of mine gave me this cat when I was in Portugal. This cat doesn't like me in real life, though. This is my favorite thing in my office. Look, it's me and the lovely Jenny B. 3 pictures at dinner. That's when I had the big old thyroid, though. Look how big my neck is. Jenny, we got to recreate this picture with my svelte neck. Maybe show off the scar a little bit. Like, hey, there's my scar. Or could it be Guy Fieri? Guy's Burgers. Everything means something. I got this pretzel when I was with my friend Doug Parker at FAO Schwartz in New York. Memories, like the flowers of our lives. Memories. Oh, Emma said that cat does like me. I don't know. Yeah, Jenny B, we got to recreate those pictures. I do love that picture. I think, yeah, so what I did is I got 2 sets of that. So Jenny has an identical one. And then every day I call her on FaceTime and I make her do kissy kissies on the picture so that I know that she loves me. Today's your time. We didn't do that today, Jenny. You gotta kiss that picture. Kissy kissy. Kissy. Brucey. I'll be home in a little bit for some Thai food. The Thai food place is closed. Chris says, well, I eat eggs since that has 4 letters. No, we only go with the base word when it comes to counting letters for food. So I won't eat rat meat or rat's meat either. Just FYI. Eiffel Tower's over there. I'm. You know what? So what happens? The funny thing is, like, I'm going to rearrange the studio, but then I record the ads that you guys see, and you have to send these things off to get approval. And then they want continuity, right? So I wear the same shirt. I have the same shot so that I can drop an ad in that maybe I recorded 3 days ago, and it's not that jarring, right? Because in reality, the advertisers want you to watch the ads. And if you make it jarring, then people immediately go, oh, that's not part of the show. So I have one more that I've recorded for October, and then maybe I can do a little changey. But the Eiffel Tower is still here in the office. And then I have the Lego Beijing postcard. And then on my last cruise, there was a guy from London, Lee, that gave me a London postcard. So I got to build that. And I got to build the Death Star, whoever was asking. Do I build the Death Star and the gift with purchase, or do I hold it? And I do like investing in Lego. I forget the savings account, forget the stock market. We're riding our whole retirement on Lego. I'm just kidding. That's not true. But there is a component where I know there's Lego sets I bought just for investment. And that's where I'm at. Like, I got a great deal. Our friend, the other cruiser, Mike Gormley, ran into somebody that was dumping their Lego. And so I got the Jedi Skiff, Rivendell, and Barad-dûr for an insane price, for about a third of the price that you would pay, and they're brand new. And then I did pick up the Death Star and the gift with purchase. And the question is, do I keep it and sell it in a couple years for a profit, or do I build it? That's same thing with the Goonies. I think I like the Goonies set. I'm going to have to go pick it up this week, but will I build it? Will I build it? That's the question. What about cow? Yeah, I eat beef, Doug. I don't know how you do it in Canada, but we don't eat cow. We eat beef. Beef. Okay, maybe it is storming outside. It feels like it's storming over here, Jenny. She said the lights are going crazy at the house. Captains, have I been able to wrap my whole the 6-7 thing? No, but I'm ensconced enough in social media that I understand the memes. I was doing that on the podcast because Tommy was like, "Oh, I want to do something, catch you blindside about something that they do on the internet," and I was like, "Are you going to go 6-7, 6-7?" I don't even know what this generation, what their thing is called, but yeah, 6-7. What's my favorite Lego set? I'm almost gonna say the last one I built. So I got a new idea for a series on Loco Bricks called Backlog Vlog, and I figured I would just start out by talking about how many Lego pieces I put together in the week, and then show the different sets. So this past week I built the Jaws, I built the Star Wars logo, I built the VIFP points little spaceman car. I built the buildable Santa minifigure. Last night I built the gingerbread AT-AT, and I think I love all of those sets. Like I was asking myself the question you just asked me. Out of those sets, which do I love the most? I don't know why I love the Star Wars logo so much. It is so good, but the Jaws set is good. Um, I think still my favorite, the thing that draws me sometimes, I love the Volkswagen builds. And so I've got the red camper van, I got the blue camper van, I got the most recent Beetle. I love those builds a lot. Dina, do you know if the Carnival Festival is sold out on the maiden voyage? I got no idea, but I know a website where you could check. Yeah, you probably could just go to carnival.com and look for the first sailing there. What am I looking forward to on the Comic-Con cruise? I think just being, we've got a lot of our kids are going, not all of them, but most of them, and their significant others, and several of them haven't cruised, and several of them I haven't cruised with. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Just having yeah, we could have picked a different cruise, but I had to entice them with some sort of special cruise. So I'm looking forward to that. Space shuttle. I have it, Doug, but I haven't built it. I like all of those space ones. Wow, that is the thunder rolls, baby. It's like a Garth Brooks concert over here. Have you done Liberty of the Seas? I'm on board tomorrow. First Royal Cruise. I really need to lock down what Royal ships I've done. I need to just make a, like, here's the cruise line. I don't know at this point. But again, I've been on big ships for Royal, small ships for Royal, medium ships for Royal, and I've liked them all. I think you'll be fine. Goodbye, CD Mouse. Stay safe. Stay safe. Cruise news. I don't even know if I have that clip anymore. Cruise news. It's almost over. That's probably my favorite song. I hated that I stopped using the phrase cruise news. But sometimes you got to make changes. Changes. It was a financial decision. Cruise news. Question: what is the longest between cruises since you started in 2017? I think it might have been when I had my thyroid out. I feel like it was several months. Jenny, do you remember how long I took off? I feel like that. Well, to be fair, the COVID shutdown's the longest. I don't think it's not been more than 18 months, which I think that's what COVID was, right? March of 2020 to sometime. When did cruising start again? I think that's the longest gap. Holy moly. Hopefully there's not like a tornado or anything over here. The whole roof is shaking. Does travel pay more than news? What I found, and it might not be true anymore, and I probably need to do the analysis again, but I found that advertisers seem to pay more for videos that don't mention the word news, even though I essentially do the same video, right? I just repackaged it. I do like the idea of the cruise show because we could talk about news, we could talk about drama, we could talk about all kinds of stuff like that. I do like that concept, but yeah, like if I put cruise news in the title, I did the experiment, right? So I was started tracking the analytics on it for the videos that, and the weird thing is like sometimes when you put the word cruise news in your title, sometimes it gets picked up and you're going to get more views because it's going to get shared outside of the space. But I'm still of the mindset I would rather get paid more per view, you know, and that's a rudimentary way of saying what happens, but I would rather have the better advertiser dollar applied to my video than not. And there's really no clear path to know which one to do. So it's a lot of experimenting. Yeah, that's the fun part of YouTube, or, you know, there's a lot of fun parts of YouTube, but one of it is, you know, you don't have any control over ad rates or anything like that. So you're constantly just trying to make the most advertiser friendly content possible that is most valuable to advertisers. That's probably the right way to say what the problem is, the problem statement, but it's good. It's all good. But I did like it when it was just more straightforward, where I could just say cruise news and my views, everything, you know, that I thought that was a great, I thought that whole intro and all that was one of my favorite intros, and the outro with the cruise news song. Dave, the Canadian cruiser. Oh, Canada. I embark on celebration on the 9th of November. When are you and Don going? We're on the 16th. We're just gonna miss you. We're going mid November. Is QB on the Mardi Gras tour? Are you guys all cruising together, Scott? Scott's been on the Mardi Gras for a few days now. Question: do you know? Oh no, I answered that one already. Yeah, Terry, we're getting close to 300,000. It's a slow roll, man. Maybe I think the average. I think I'm doing 1,800 subs a month. So we could do the math. Probably 2 more months. We might get there before the end of the year. It's more a vanity thing. I'm really happy with the views and the trajectory of the channel and all that. And I really do enjoy making the cruise show, and I'm enjoying all the side projects I'm doing. So no complaints out of me. It will be cool. Of course, Emma's got 8 million subscribers now, so I'm always chasing Emma. I think she's in the 400s now. But yeah, it's the views is where it's at, honestly. But so keep watching the show. I'm okay if people don't necessarily subscribe. Oh, Allie, why do you have to ask me that question? It makes me sad. When will you be back to see us in Ireland again? Look, the closest I'm getting to Ireland is Siri on my iPhone. That's the accent that I'm using. I call her Siobhan, and I wouldn't know how to spell that name, but I know there's a B in it. I don't know when we get to come back to Ireland. You know what? I really would just love to redo that UK cruise. The whole thing was great, where I got to go to Northern Ireland, and I couldn't even say Ireland there, but Scotland, UK. I wish it was soon. I don't know, Captain. Like, Dilemmas is my brother Steve's thing, and I told him because I have a lot going on. So, and I told him, and he still works a full-time job and stuff like that. I said, I think it's a great idea, but you're gonna have to drive some of that. And so I'm, if somebody drives, and I'll get on a long board and I'll do all the things that I do, but I don't think I have the cycles to do all of the fun stuff I like to do and drive something else. I like it. I like the idea of Dilemmas, but you gotta be. It's gonna take two on that one. Cruising on the high seas and travel. G'day, y'all, from the grandeur of the seas. Yeah, Ali. I mean, I like it because I get to learn all kinds of, like for the maps, it'll be like, you've entered the car park. We don't say that here, but it's always fun when somebody's in my car and they don't know that my Siri's kind of tuned that way, and they're like, what is your Siri saying? Somebody that had Android the other day was like, can I make my phone sound like that? I'm like, maybe. Oh, Aaron, I don't have any muscle. I appreciate it. Have to drop the link for my OnlyFans if you want to see my muscles. Just got off of Odysseys of the Seas for the first time ever docking in Istanbul. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's 5:02. Well, that went quickly. But now I don't even want to go home other than to see Jenny. I mean, I do want to go home and see Jenny, but there won't be any Thai food there. Do I need to pick up anything, Jenny? Do I need to pick up dinner? Let me know. Let me know. Do you all take the fastest travel? So do you all take the Brightline? I love it. I love it. I'm headed tomorrow, and Spirit's big front seat on the way back. Because the weird thing, we live in Tampa, so I would have to drive 2 hours to where the Brightline is, and then park my car, which I'm assuming I'd have to pay, and then the ticket's not that cheap. So for example, I got to go to Fort Lauderdale next week. I just think it would cost me too much, and then I wouldn't have a car. I mean, I'm still gonna have to park in Fort Lauderdale, and then I got to go to Miami later. But I do want to try it, but I just don't think it makes sense for me. If they stretch that line over to Tampa, I think it's going to be good. Jenny B said dinner's already. Are you cooking Thai food? That sounds awesome. Are you cooking something good or something healthy? That's the question. We've been doing really good, you guys. But the funny thing is, again, I'll do an update tomorrow, so be on the lookout for the health update. I'll tell you everything that's going on, but I just want something crappy. Premium for $99. That's not bad. Yeah, we flew. I mentioned it. I think the last live we flew JetBlue, and that was actually pretty good. If it's only $39, that's not bad. I looked at some tickets maybe when it first opened, and it was more. I'll have to look at it again. Healthy. I might have to eat on the way home. Shh, don't tell Jenny. I'll get home and be like, yeah, I'm not hungry. I don't know. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out for a live news show and for all of the great questions. Thanks everybody for the super chats. Shout out to all the channel members. Shout out to all the Patreons that are in the chat. And yeah, much love to the Loca fam. I'll be back tomorrow with another show. And hopefully everybody's doing good. And I'm going to go ride the storm out. And man, prayers for Jamaica and anybody in the path of that, Melissa. Calm down, Melissa. Actually, she needs to speed up. This is one of the problems with that storm. It's slow moving, which is causing problems. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for checking in. This is Tony for La Lita Loca, for the lovely Jenny B in the chat. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. I said bye. Are you still here? Go. See you later. It's time to leave. Just go. All right.